tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Brings up second and 2 at the 31-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They run it with Carson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977, but since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams, and the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015.
Kill.
On first down, it's Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2.
We want it. Come to my world. 25. 57.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's first and 10 up at the 46.
Check 3.
Zebra.
Check 9.
Here's Carson. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
96 is coming. We got Mike 96.
Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
One flip.
He's checking.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 26 and a first down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Check, 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 check.
Another try for Penny. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal.
Started.
Mike 96, Mike 96. Here we go, G.
To throw is Wilson.
Let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
He may try and run for this. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
An 18-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Check 26, check 26. Check 43. Hey, watch it.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
A gain of 2.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You got blocked me.
They go 368.
55, Mike 55.
Hey, check Mike. Hey, Delta. Watch 55.
Stop your whining. Mike 55.
Passing, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Mike 54, Mike 54, Mike 54. Switch. Right there.
Andy Dalton. And able to find Green. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
1st down, Bengals.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. 30, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 64 yards, and the Bengals have taken the lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that would help him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check it. Alert.
On second and 11 now. Wilson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 36. Wilson to the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Quick edge. Go. Check 50.
Draw play. This is Carson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Geno Atkins got home that time. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice and ambitious effort, but it's well short. Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. The Bengals drive about to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Mike's 54. Come on. Check it back. Switch. Watch the eye. Motion. Comes up the helmet. Here we go.
Back to Mixon on first down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 38 yards. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as a wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. This is Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
No cash, no cash. Go. Go, 4 down.
Now on second and 13. Wilson, they'll find Metcalf. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
That's it. Big hit.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Steps away to his left. Oh, he finds his running back open downfield. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On first down, it's Carson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Darquez Denard there to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Watch out. There.
On third down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Go 14.
Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half. It's Wilson going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. He'll have a first down past the 40 and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. SOS. 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 Check 13. Check 13.
Mixon with a first down carry. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Dalton. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 22 yards there, a first down. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
So Dalton now. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Big stop, G. 49.
5.
49.
Over here.
To throw again. Dalton. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. On second down, here's Penny. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Check three.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Four down. Check. 94 is the mark. Here we go. 19. 94 is the mark. 94 is the mark.
Second and 5 now. Wilson. That's complete. Right around the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 yards on the play. First down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Green 80. Hey. Alert.
Now it's Wilson. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will put them on top here in the third. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
57. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Check, check. Lucky. Gun.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's coming, double up. Check 3. 14.
Check 49.
They'll run it again with Penny. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Myers' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Joe Mixon. And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Hands up. Lead.
55. I'm coming.
Here you go. 368.
Blue draw Porter. 25.
They'll run with Mixon. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2 by 2. Move.
Mike 54. Mike 54. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here you go. 368.
2nd and 5 now. Dalton nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Mike 49. Hey,
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And that will be incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition in practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Mike 57. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache. Switch.
36 power.
Switch.
Now it's Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. That one good for 26 and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
16. Watch 16. He likes
on 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, they set up the screen to Penny. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Here it comes.
Hey, 0. Echo. Hold up.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The sack by Jordan Willis.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Taken in at the 11. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 77 yards. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards. Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards the pickup there. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
They'll run this with Homer. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a 1-score game.
57's a mark. 57's a mark.
Now Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
And Myers able to knock it through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th now in Carson. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. On the run, it's Mixon. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. This is Mixon on the draw. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball on the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
On the delay, it's Mixon. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now here's a timeout, as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. So it all comes down here to the right foot of Randy Bullock. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So it all comes down here to the right foot of Randy Bullock. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in a driving rain, he steps up, puts it through just like he's practicing in a gym somewhere.
How about that? Any little slip in this weather is going to throw him off. He stepped up there like it was perfect conditions, took dead aim, and knocked it through.
Come on, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Cincinnati, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.